What up everyone, it's your boy X-Man87 here bringing you another G.I. Joe Classified video, and what I have for you today is the G.I. Joe Classified series Croc Master and Fiona 2-pack action figure review. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, I'm here to bring you another 1-2 punch episode of the Uncanny X-Man-y story time, and then we'll take a look at the figure. Let's go! Croc Master was originally created by Hasbro in 1987 for their G.I. Joe toy line, but Larry Hama takes credit for developing his origin as he wrote him into the G.I. Joe Marvel Comics series, in which he debuted in G.I. Joe A Real American Hero, issue number 72, back in June 1988. His real name is not classified, but what is known about Croc Master is that he was raised by his father, an alligator farmer who dubbed himself Croc Master, in the Florida Everglades. He helped his father take care of his crocs and gators on the farm, treating them like his pets. His father mistreated him as a child. As a teenager, one day he returned home to find his crocodile killed and skinned by his father, who sold the skin to a European businessman. Filled with rage, he pushed his father into the swamp and watched as his gators ate his father alive. Now he took his name and brands himself Croc Master. Being a former alligator wrestler and burglar alarm salesman, he then founded Gators Guard Inc., a company specializing in training alligators for home security. His advertisements in Florida garnered the attention of the Baroness. She would then hire him to handle security on Cobra Island. Donning a green gator scaled vest and boots, as well as a black mask with a breathing apparatus to help him stay underwater for long periods of time, he spent much of his time on Cobra Island as head security, training many alligators and crocodilians that he refers to as his girls, giving them female names such as Chelsea, Lolita, Melissa, Tara, Tiffany, and such, whom he taught to patrol the island's swamps and waterways. His enemies, Wetsuit and Torpedo, would find out the hard way infiltrating through these dangerous passages, as Croc Master can sense enemy footsteps in the waters since he spends much of his time sleeping in those same waterways, often lying on his back with his breathing apparatus breaking the surface of the water. In the Marvel Comics Cobra Civil War story arc, which saw Cobra divided and a fight for rule of Cobra Island ensuing, Croc Master sided with Serpentor. Shortly after Cobra Civil War, the real Cobra Commander would return, reclaiming the mantle of Cobra Leader. Cobra Commander imprisoned Croc Master along with his friend Raptor and some others seen as traitors like Zartan, Firefly, Dr. Mindbender in a huge landlocked freighter. All were left to die as Cobra Commander detonated bombs which pushed the freighter towards a volcano which blew up and collapsed on top of the freighter. It was addressed in Valor vs. Venom. Croc Master perished from the attack, but later on a new successor would take on the mantle of Croc Master to take control and lead the Gators and Crocs on the island. Not only can this version lead a group of Gators and Crocodilians, but he can also lead another battalion of Cobra, the extremely cunning Jungle Vipers. For powers and abilities, Croc Master is skilled in animal control, tracking, unarmed combat, and a weapons master. In other media, the Sunbow G.I. Joe TV animated series was cancelled prior to Croc Master's first appearance. However, he was still featured in TV commercials for the show. Croc Master was a mini-boss in the video game from Capcom's G.I. Joe The Atlantis Factor for Nintendo back in 1992. While not having an original vehicle in the classic 80s toy line, he was drawn on the art of the Cobra Maggot vehicle along with Worm's Maggot Driver. Croc Master remains supremely popular within the G.I. Joe community and has appeared in a total of 38 issues, with his final appearance being in G.I. Joe Cobra issue number 3, titled Fangs.
I was born in the swamps. I was made by it, molded by it.
Like, let me stop, man. But wow, I have to start off with the head sculpt here. Look at this. This guy is looking fierce. I'm sure he'll probably give you some Bane vibes with this breathing apparatus. But this guy came out way before Bane, but you get the point. Anyway, wow. G.I. Joe Classified series doesn't miss with their head sculpts. Name me one head sculpt that is bad from their line. I'll wait. All their head sculpts are like freaking 10s, man. And another one shows right here. Look at this texturing on the mask. Look at the stitching right there. That is beautiful. I like the stitching on the mask. That is so cool. Love the red paint on the eyes. Just looking at this mask all around. Look at the wrinkles on the back. Oh man, they killed it here. They killed it. You can see the stitching going as far as right there. And yeah, the breathing apparatus here is painted in silver. Get some nice design with it as well. This is so freaking cool. And the tube right here, you can see it follows and travels all the way to the back. So it does plug in here. And you can see there's like a little knob there. It is removable, so you can unplug it. And then if you want, unplug this. So if you want to display them without the tube, you can. You're just going to be left with two big holes. The good thing is with this tube that it fits nice and tight and is secure, so you don't have to worry about anything falling loose when you're articulating him. I don't have that problem, so that's a good thing there. And they did a great job with the first version of Croc Master here. I mean, they knocked it out of the park. You can see the green gator vest right here. Lots of that gator texturing going on throughout the vest. You can even see the Cobra logo right there. As you can see, it's clean and crisp. You even get some paint apps in the center of his torso to bring out, you know, some of that nice details. So it does look good. The rest is on a green kind of plastic molding. You get some light weathering here. So as you can see, the tip of these scales have some slight hue to it. And he's got some big guns here. These arms are a reuse from Gung Ho. So as you can see, and same hands as well as Gung Ho. He's supposed to have a bite mark traditionally on this right arm, but they didn't put it here. You get 2 layers added onto the gauntlet, so one side is with the gator skin, the other side is supposed to be this metal-like gauntlet. And here comes Hasbro pissing me off again with not painting the silver plastic, knowing that they painted the belt here in a metallic silver, as well as the breathing apparatus. Like, come on, man. It's a $45 figure, and they still won't paint the damn plastic. Yeah, I got the right to call that out, because unlike some influencers that got a free 40th anniversary box, I actually paid for my shit. Looking at the belt, looks very, very good, but man, I got hit with some paint mishaps here, so that really sucks. Right on the eye. That bothers the hell out of me, and as you can see, it's not fully painted in. You can see where the orange is supposed to meet on the silver rimming, but yeah, I like how the orange hue around the yellow looks. That looks really, really good, so I'm gonna give them props for that. But the rest of the yellow looks nice here. As you can see, the yellow strips right there on the side. Let's not forget about the great stitching sculpting right there too. Man, that looks really, really good. I like that. And then, yeah, it got some red paint right there on the dots. And taking a look at his croc, he's got a croc cup. So they actually added the texturing there, which is really cool. So this crotch piece here is definitely new. The legs are a reuse from the Target exclusive barbecue. So you can see that same texturing and the same seam patterns going on, but we get new boots with that. But before I get on to the boots, here's a look at his holster, and this is really cool because it's got the gator skin texturing, so that is really cool. I feel like they could have weathered that a little bit, you know, make those scales pop out even more. Then he's got some armored knee pads. And the boots, man, the gator skin boots, these are so good looking. I really like that. And again, the same pattern with the gator skin kind of straps there with the sheath. I'll show you that in a bit with the accessories. I do like the way these came out, man. Only gripe is that there's a black peg right there. That makes no sense to me. That just really makes no sense to me. Why isn't it in green? So that is not a good look there. But everything else is damn good. Now for the loads of accessories he comes with, here is his training / taming whip. So it looks really cool, and it is pliable right there. On the handle right there, you get some gator skin texturing, so it's really, really cool. I do like it. Gotta have him coming with the whip. It's so iconic for this character. Then he comes with this cool looking meat hook right here, which he could use to help feed the gators or open the mouths of these gators. In this case, Fiona, since he comes with Fiona. Or just to straight up uppercut some G.I. Joes with a fatal blow. Next up, he has the knife, and as you can see, the handle is painted in green for the gator skin, which looks really, really cool. And then, of course, you can slide this into the sheath on his boot. and equip him with a knife right there. Next up, he comes with his handgun, and let me tell you, this would have been so much better looking if the handle was painted in green for the gator skin. Like, they painted the knife. You would think they would paint the handle here, and they didn't. It's just, why? But what I do like is that there's a port right here, and you can plug in some blast effects. Now, the only thing is that they haven't released blast effects yet for the G.I. Joe line. A lot of those will be released in the Viper 3-pack, but you can take a Marvel Legends blast effect, and yeah, that looks good. Don't know why they couldn't include a little muzzle effect for him. I guess Hasbro's relying on your money to buy the Viper's 3-pack, and then you could just store it onto his holster easily. Next up, he comes with this spiky collar and a leash for Fiona. So it is not bendy. It was just warped like this from having it posed for a long time. But it would have been really cool if this was a real chain link. Oh my god, that would have definitely justified the $45. But at least they could have made this bendy wired. I mean, they put bendy wire on Fiona's tail, so, Anyway, close look right here. You could see some texturing right there on the collar. I'll show you how this looks on Fiona in a bit. But here's a closer look at the chains and the handle. Now, taking a look at Fiona, this might be the star of the pack right here. I mean, wow, this thing came out awesome. Like, they did this pack right here. I mean, they couldn't just put out a Croc Master figure and not have a crocodile with him. You know, like, could you imagine if they just sold this dude separately? Like, the community would have been in uproar. Like, where's his Crocs? This Fiona, my god. Again, it just... so awesome. It's so articulate, and we'll definitely take a look at the articulation. But this thing is big, man. From snout to tail, it's a foot long. So, wow. Taking a close look at the head of Fiona here, this thing looks awesome, man. Look at the eyes. Got those fearsome reptilian-like eyes. It is a crocodile. As you can see, the snout is narrow. Alligators have a more broader snout. And the easiest way you can tell the difference between a crocodile and an alligator is that the alligators have their teeth visible only at the top, not at the bottom. A crocodile will have their teeth visible at the top and the bottom, interlocking with each other. But yeah, the teeth are nice and white, which is accurate since they go through thousands of teeth through their life cycle. The mouth right there and the tongue, and as you can see, the tongue is not movable because alligators and crocodiles don't have a movable tongue. It's actually a muscle like underneath right there, which is a pressure point, because the weak spot of a crocodile and alligator is their eyes, the snout, and under here, right where their tongue is, very sensitive. So if you hold one and grip one there, you know, I see a lot of trainers just usually do that. So you could tell the Hasbro design team did their research on crocodiles, and you could tell this part right here, which looks like, you know, some fat on their neck, is actually not fat. It's their jaw muscles. So, goddamn, when did my channel become the freaking Discovery Channel? Sorry, man, I'm fascinated by alligators and crocodiles. Always have been. They're like the closest thing to dinosaurs. But yeah, I'm out here teaching y'all some things. But definitely don't go out and freaking poke an alligator in its eyes or snout or try to grab it under the throat. I am not recommending that at all. Don't think you could choke slam an alligator and all of a sudden call yourself Croc Master, man. I'm not recommending that at all. And yeah, the texturing here is beautiful. Spot on. They didn't miss anything. I like those little alligator toes. Their webbed feet. They did not miss at all with the scales and the texturing. There's like not one empty spot. Everything is sculpted, and wow, just wow, man. The G.I. Joe team just kills it all the time. And I do see there's an outline right here under the belly, and I think I know what that is for, is because if you do decide to put this guy under the water, you could squeeze it right here. It's pliable. That would leak some water out, as you can see those gaps coming out, as well as the bendy wire tail. There's some holes in it, so, you know, that would get some water out of there. So, a smart move on their part. Everything just feels nice about this figure. Wow. Such a great piece. And here's looking at Fiona head on. Trying to focus there. So, yeah, looks really cool. Then lastly, you get two baby crocodiles, and they did include an albino one here. You can see the eyes painted in red, and the snout is painted as well. The teeth are painted on both of them. Looks a little bit messy, but yeah, the eyes on this one is painted as well. Looks great. So Nice additions here. I don't mind this at all. You can find a way to sort of put them in Fiona's mouth, just because crocodiles do carry their babies in their mouths. So, you know, you could do something like that. You can't put both of them. I mean, this one fits best. It could have used a bigger gap right there in the mouth. That would have helped for sure. But yeah, you could play it off like that, I guess. Plus, crocs and gators can keep their mouths open for hours anyway. And if you want to put the leash on Fiona, the easiest way to do it is where the chain starts right there. Make sure that's at the top. And you could just slide it up like so. And there you go. Now Croc Master can be ready to take her out for a walk. Now, to go over articulation with Croc Master, he has a double jointed neck. So he looks that far up and that far down. Left, right. It does tilt. And you can rock it all around. Arms move that far up, so slightly higher than a T-pose right there. And it moves down. You can swing it all around. He does have butterfly joints, so they move that far forward and that far back. You got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows past the 90-degree mark. You got a wrist swivel and a regular wrist hinge on both of them. You got a double diaphragm joint going on with him, so you got the upper torso crunch and the ball jointed waist. So if you want to bend everything forward, there you go. And moves that far back. You got a waist swivel, and it can rock side to side as well as clockwise. He's got the drop down hip mechanic, so it could drop down that far, and he can move his leg that far up, that far back. He's got some good splits, so you could get a nice wide stance out of him. He's got a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and heel to the croc butt. Yes, some great articulation right there. And you got a boot swivel. Ankles move up that far, down that low, and they rock all around. Now to go over articulation with Fiona, like I showed you before, the mouth opens that far up, it closes, and it's got a neck swivel, and as well as it rocks around since it has a ball joint, and it can pivot nicely as well. The torso, upper torso swivels as well, same motion, you know, can rock it side to side and rock it all around. So really good articulation there. You know, if you want to see how far it can move up right there, there you go. And that is really, really good. So if you want it lunging up, you know, you can get those poses and it moves that far down. You got the legs right here, so no articulation at the elbows right here, but the arms, or legs, excuse me, they rotate all around, and you got the hinge right there, so you know, could move the little legs that far up, down, and you even have the wrist or ankles, whatever you want to call this right here. You can have that move up right there because there's a hinge, and it moves that far down, and it does swivel. It does stick out. Let me see. It does spread out that far. So yeah, if you want a resting alligator, you know, you can just have them flop like that with their legs spread out. You got the hinge right there and the pivot. So the tail is like the highlight of this figure. I mean, this whole figure is a highlight itself, but the tail right here is on a ball joint, so it can rock side to side. You can rock it around, you know, move it up, move it down, however you like. And of course, the bendy wire action is so nice, so you know, you can get the tail in whatever pose you want. So yeah, man, it is a really, really neat tail. Now for some comparisons, here is Croc Master next to a Cobra Infantry and Cobra Trooper. Here he is next to some bats. Here he is next to Cobra Commander and the PostCon exclusive Zartan. Here he is next to some Joes, Gung Ho and Beachhead. Here is Fiona next to Timber. Hasbro's killing it on the articulation with these animals. I did find the alligator that came with the WWE Elite Luke Harper figure. Don't remember the series, but since Croc Master trains both crocs and gators, this will work too for a display. Lastly, here is Croc Master and Fiona together to close out the comparisons. And for my on the shelf segment, here is Croc Master in my G.I. Joe Classified Cobra display. And now to wrap things up, my final rating is a 9.5 out of 10. This one hits home for me as the original 80s version was one of my favorite G.I. Joe figures as a kid. The nostalgia bug bite is on another level. Seeing it brought to life in this new era of G.I. Joes we're living in is something I dreamed of when I wished for a 6-inch G.I. Joe line since forever ago. He's definitely worth it. He's worth buying 2 for me since I want to display him with 2 crocodiles. It'll just be challenging to army build his girls at the $45 price tag. So eBay or Mercari would be a good route to do that. My only gripe is that there are some areas that needed to be painted to fully flesh this figure out. I can't deny that the G.I. Joe Classified series is Hasbro's best line. The unique designs and sculpts we get with these, yeah, there's a little bit of reuse mixed in there. That's just part of the business, but majority of the time, it feels brand new. Not to mention, the articulation bests all the rest. Looks like they'll stay that way, as after their fastest record-breaking HasLab, which as of this recording has 13,212 backers, it might end up closing with 40,000 backers. If so, that's 12 million they just pocketed. That's like more than what their Snake Eyes movie made. Those who doubted the line, calling it dead from their distribution troubles and delays, yeah, the HasLab success says this line ain't going anywhere. The 2 figures here just sell each other in this pack. Both are greatly articulated figures with accessories that complement each other, is what a deluxe companion pack like this should be all about. It's a great pack and already one of my favorites this year. Hope to see more companion packs like Mutt and Junkyard. I would like to see Raptor in a deluxe treatment too. If this doesn't end up in my top 10 list this year, then someone slap me. Not Will Smith to Chris Rock slap me, I mean Rick James to Charlie Murphy kind of slap. Croc Master is probably the best figure from the main Cobra characters in the line. I highly recommend this for your classified collection. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this Croc Master set? Which Cobra character do you think will make an awesome deluxe set? Also, are you backing the HasLab His Tank? If you did, let me know how many you backed. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. That was my review. Please follow me on Instagram at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the pics at the end of the video. See you on the next review. Peace.